We should move this. The Galaxy Z Flip 3 is definitely not an ideal phone. However, a phone totally nails what it decides to. Provide an exceptional inclination folding phone that looks phenomenal, feels perfect to utilize, and doesn't cost the earth. The ideal variant of this phone would probably have somewhat better cameras. However, at that point it would cost a couple hundred more. Or on the other hand, perhaps it would have longer battery duration. Yet all things considered, it wouldn't be half so reduced. Samsung made the right compromises, and the outcome isn't just a foldable that can bear toe-to-toe with its Peace phone rivals, yet is serenely the most interesting phone this year. Design and construct. New, improved design. IPX8 water obstruction. Improved toughness, yet the pivot is as yet powerless. Tailor-made tones accessible for a charge. Last year's Galaxy Z Flip and Z Flip 5G looked pretty fabulous, so it was a slight shock that Samsung returned to the planning phase for the series' third phone. Fortunately, my incredulity was unjustifiable, as the organization tracked down space for a few key improvements. The wide shape and size of the phone hasn't changed a lot, yet the style have. Gone are the reflected, metallic completions of the main gen, supplanted by more muffled two-tone designs. I've been trying the phone in cream, yet you can likewise get it in dark, purple, or dim green. On the off chance that none of those make you day, Samsung has added the choice to make a customized release variant of the phone for yourself. However, it costs £50 divided by $50 divided by €60 extra, and must be arranged from Samsung's own site. This allows you to browse a scope of 5 tones, yellow, dark, white, blue, and pink, and apply them to the front and back boards separately, as well as picking either a dark or silver edge. Samsung will try and allow you to send the phone back in to change the board colors after buy, however charges an additional expense for that. The tones all look perfect, however the greater change the latest trend dark bar that takes up close to a portion of the phone's front. This incorporates the 2 external cameras, yet in addition the bigger cover display. The design here figures out how to conceal this display when it's not being used. And in any event, when it is the dark foundation utilized all through causes it to feel like a consistent piece of the body, as opposed to a screen standing out. The Z Flip 3 doesn't simply be more appealing than its ancestors, it's harder as well. The title here is the consideration of an IPX8 rating, and that implies there's a similar degree of water opposition as on most leader phones, yet no evaluating for dust protection, so you'll in any case need to be cautious at the ocean side. The new reinforcement aluminum outline is, as far as anyone knows, 10% harder than previously, while Gorilla Glass Victus, the hardest around, coats the body and Gorilla Glass DX sits over the focal points. Display: 6.7-in, 120Hz foldable display. Indeed, there's a wrinkle, however it doesn't make any difference. Improved 1.9-in external screen. There are 2 displays to consider with the Flip 3. We should begin with the principal one. The 6.7-in folding screen is a full HD plus AMOLED board, equivalent to previously, yet this year has a welcome knock up to a 120Hz refresh rate, which nets you smoother and more liquid movements. In the event that you haven't attempted a folding phone before, you may be shocked by how strong the Flip 3's display really feels, and by how little you will quite often see the focal wrinkle. In any case, it is there. It's not so apparent head-on. Yet at points or against light foundations you will see the wrinkle quite without any problem. You'll likewise feel it any time you look through that focal line, which is probably the greater inconvenience of the two. At the point when you initially get the phone, it seems like it makes a difference. Inside a couple of long periods of purpose, it truly doesn't. Don't overthink it. Specs and availability. Solid, leader specs. 5G help. No double SIM. The first-gen Galaxy Z Flip utilized what was at the time a marginally more seasoned chipset, in what was probably an expense-cutting measure. Astonishingly, regardless of really bringing down the value this time, Samsung hasn't attempted to pull off that approach once more. Rather, you'll find the current year's leader Snapdragon 888 inside, a similar chip utilized in the Galaxy Z Fold 3 and the S21 phones, along with 8GB of Smash that nets you quick performance in all cases, equipped for matching pretty much something besides top-spec gaming phones. Capacity is likewise strong, with a decision between 128GB or 256GB of quick UFS 3.1 capacity. However, with no microSD space, you will not have the option to extend this on the off chance that you at any point run out. The Snapdragon 888 likewise conveys 5G help. There's tragically just space for one actual SIM card. However, the phone can uphold an actual SIM and an eSIM all the while. Past all that, you'll get Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.1, and NFC. There's Face Open driven by the single selfie camera, and a unique Mark Open utilizing a side-mounted scanner, not an under-display choice. Battery and charging just barely endures an entire day. 15W wired and 10W wireless charging. charger sold separately. It's undeniably been ruddy up to this point. However, presently it is the right time to get into what are unequivocally the phone's flimsy spots. However, I absolutely wouldn't consider them devastating. First up, the Z Flip 3 packs a piddly minimal 3300 mAh battery, far more modest than most standard Android phones nowadays. With light to normal use it will last an entire day, yet heavier clients will battle. Camera, double back camera, cutthroat and great lighting. Section phone matches still win on adaptability and low light. On the off chance that the battery duration is dispassionately disappointing, the camera quality on the Z Flip 3 is a more emotional concern. Samsung has chosen to reutilize last year's camera specs, meaning you get a 12MP primary focal point and 12MP ultra-wide, alongside a 10MP poke-hole selfie focal point. These cameras were great yet not extraordinary last year. And to be straightforward, similar turns out as expected at this point. Basic shots for web-based entertainment will come out well, particularly in great light, yet performance will experience in dimmer circumstances and many will miss the additional choices manage the cost of by a zooming focal point. Software ships with Android 11. 3 years of Android refreshes. The Galaxy Z Flip 3 sent off running Android 11, with Samsung's One UI 3.1 on top. Samsung has focused on providing 3 years of Android form updates to the phone, which ought to cover the forthcoming Android 12, yet additionally forms 13 and 14 alongside a 4th year of safety patches. That is one of the most outstanding Android update promises you'll find, just truly dominated by Google itself. One UI is one of the better Android variations around nowadays. It's troubled by all in all too much pointless mess, and on occasion can feel more unbending and unyielding than rivals. But on the other hand, it's speedy, appealing, and simple to utilize, ostensibly more significant elements. Samsung has likewise worked effectively of consolidating support for its foldables one-of-a-kind features. I've previously referenced a couple of the camera features, however there are other savvy contacts. Tap on a warning or gadget on the cover screen, and the app will be prepared when you open the phone. You can likewise arrange choices around calls so that opening and shutting the phone will reply and end calls individually. Finally, thanks for watching this video. See you again next time.